Hello and welcome to Ho 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 Green Dragon. I'm Rob Olander Crane, and today's episode is all about the winds. Specifically, two types of winds. The wind of your seat and the wind of the round, also known as the prevailing wind. So first, we need to talk a little bit about what a real game of Chinese Mahjong is. So you probably get together with your friends and you play, for 2 hours. And in those 2 hours, you play 6, 7, maybe 8 games, and then you go home and you're done. But a real game of Chinese Mahjong, a full game of Chinese Mahjong, is actually somewhere between 16 and 48 games. And the wins have something to do with that. So the first person to deal is always in the east seat. And then the second person is in the south seat. And the third is in the west seat. And the fourth is in the north seat. When each of those players deal once, they've completed the first round. And that first round is the east round. And you say it's the east prevailing wind. When I deal again, remember, I started as east, now I'm dealing again and I'm east again. We're in the second round, which is the south round, and the prevailing wind is now south. And I deal, and they deal, and the person across from me deals, and the person to the left of me deals, and now we enter the third round, the west round. So the prevailing wind is now west. All four of us deal. And finally, the prevailing wind turns to north, and the four of us deal. And if each of us doesn't win when we're dealing, it's only 16 games, 4 in each round. But what happens if the dealer wins? Well, in Chinese Mahjong, the dealer can win up to 3 times, and then the deal has to move. So if we go back to our scenario, we're in the east round, the prevailing wind is east, and I'm in the east seat, and I win 3 times, and then the person in the south seat wins 3 times, and the person in the west seat wins 3 times, and the person in the north seat wins 3 times. That's 12 games just in the east round. And now we go to the south round, and the west round, and the north round, and we've hit 48 games by the time we're done. So a full game of Chinese Mahjong is somewhere between 16 games and 48 games. Now, most people don't play that long. I've done it a couple times. It took about 5.5 hours to do it. I did it on a cruise on a sea day. But that's a full game of Mahjong, not just coming together with your friends for 2.5 hours or something like that. Why is that important? Well, to learn why it's important, you're going to have to come back next week to the second part of my conversation about the winds, where I explain why that's significant. I'm Rob Olander Crane. This is Ho 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 Green Dragon. We've been talking about the winds, and we'll talk more next week. See you then.